we were looking out for different tech partners who really believed in the same sort of message and the same sort of structure of keeping bad guys away from rural and disadvantaged communities across the country. Because oftentimes, that's where the gap is. That's where the real gap is that bad guys are going to be attacking everybody. And big places like San Francisco, big companies like Facebook, they can afford to hire people. But rural communities can't. Rural school districts in particular can't. And so we're really helping out across Idaho with our program with Stellar Cyber as part of our core technology stack. And the other thing that we're doing is at Boise State, we're really addressing the cybersecurity workforce shortage that exists. There's over 700,000 job openings right now across the country alone that are going unfilled because we can't produce enough cybersecurity workers fast enough. And as a result of that, we've taken on the challenge in Idaho and in the region to really try to advance what we're doing and how we're doing it, and by partnering with great companies like Stellar Cyber, where they're providing us technology, we're using that technology to train our students in a real world environment. So our students are actually coming out better equipped, better enabled, and ready to work. And they're not having to go through the process that so many other students across the country go through, which is they get their degree, they get some industry certifications, and then they kind of hit this wall where industry is saying, we want experience. We want you to have experience before we hire you. And so we're addressing that third leg. We're giving them a degree, they're doing phenomenal work in our degree programs, they're getting industry certifications, and we're filling that last leg with Stellar Cyber support by giving real world experience to our students. And in doing that, we're helping communities all across Idaho, and we hope with this program to really take it out across the country and help rural and disadvantaged communities all over the country because they can't afford to attract and retain the kind of cyber workers that are so critically needed. And if we can give our students real world experience and help protect the nation, what better good is there? I've been doing cyber for a long time, as I mentioned, and I have seen the various technology waves that have occurred, and what Stellar Cyber really touched on early was the use of artificial intelligence and machine learning to really help the cybersecurity workforce better understand and better analyze the types of threats and the types of attacks that are going on. And so with that technology is so critical, and their platform is so critical to what we do, and we're also enabling our students with their technology so that our students are not just going on out and saying, I've used a bunch of open source tools, a bunch of free tools. They can actually say, I've used a commercial tool, I know how these things work, and I have real world experience behind it. And their program is phenomenal, where we also get our students trained and certified on their platform. So everything they bring together and they bring to us is just hypercritical to our overall success. I mean, what I really appreciate about Stellar Cyber is they've been such a phenomenal partner. So, they've enabled us, but they're also enabling through their listening. That improvement loop, that feedback loop is so critical. And their ability to take the product and continue to advance it and allowing us to participate in that process gives our students another chance to see how things are done in the commercial space. And now that they've seen success with us, they're really starting to bring a phenomenal program out to the country for other universities and other interested groups like us to be able to use the product and to work and partner together. So if I had a goal, it's really to replicate what we're doing at Boise State and do so across the nation with Stellar as our core technology provider. So what's OpenXDR? So OpenXDR is this great, really great idea and concept that Stellar Cyber really championed. And what it is it ties together all of the necessary attack fabric of your enterprise and allows for you to collect information, correlate that information, and use machine learning, artificial intelligence to be able to really get better results faster and enable your analysts, enable your engineers to see the entire landscape of your environment, or of your customers' environments. Because Stellar Cyber, as one of the leaders in Open XDR, they've been specifically aligning with managed security service providers, MSSPs, large enterprises, and really trying to tackle the need in the industry to have a complete perspective. OpenXDR stands for Extended Detection and Response. And it's really the next phase in what we see in being able to thwart cyber adversaries. It's, a few years ago, we all kind of got onto the endpoint detection and response, or EDR wave, and now we've realized that only focusing on endpoints, laptops, servers, et cetera, doesn't enable for the network to be included into the entire analysis fabric. And XDR, OpenXDR in particular, enables not only the understanding of the entire threat landscape, but also pulls in the ability to have a heterogeneous security environment, so that you're not relying upon any one large-scale single vendor. You can choose the best of all products, and the great thing about Stellar Cyber is that they integrate and ingest information from all potential products. And that's really where I think Stellar Cyber is just phenomenally leading the market, and really trying to provide the right kind of tools, the right kind of capabilities to enable enterprises, MSSPs, and programs like ours at Boise State to be able to really attack and manage and detect and respond to adversarial traffic. Most adversaries, I would typically lump the adversarial environment into three categories. You've got the large adversarial nation states, China, North Korea, Russia, so forth. They make up the major component of what's attacking critical infrastructure and our government services across the nation. You then also have cyber criminals. And the cyber criminal organizations are doing this purely for economic gain, but they're also doing it in alignment with the nation states. Oftentimes, the nation states are producing cyber warriors and cyber adversaries, and in doing that, the cyber adversaries are then jumping into criminal organizations, and essentially think of it as organized crime. They're going in and they're focusing their efforts on ransomware attacks or phishing attacks, and in doing that, they're turning around and holding hostage critical infrastructure, hospitals, school districts, utility plants, and so forth across the nation, and they're doing that for economic gain, and then oftentimes funneling those dollars back into the nation state. As an example, North Korea has essentially funded its economy through its cyber adversarial efforts. And then the third area is really you have like hacktivists, those people that are purposely looking to try to create a message or push a message out to through the internet and through their specific channels. And in this particular case, Stellar Cyber attacks and understands and monitors across all those adversaries. I really appreciate Stellar Cyber enabling me to be here and talking about OpenXDR, talk about Boise State, and what we're doing together to really help the nation. My hat's off to them for everything that they've done, and I look forward to the continued partnership for years to come.